Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
My name is Todd Butler. I'm the President and CEO of Causeway Community Partners, and I'm really happy to be here today. I want to thank all of you for coming out to hear some of the news we're going to share with you this morning and to see some of the great stuff that's going on in our community to address the issue of distracted driving. I want to say a special thanks to West Arundecoit School District and Jeffrey Crane, our superintendent here at West Arundecoit, or at Arundecoit School District, for hosting us here today. I want to say a special welcome to some of our guests, Ray Isaac from Isaac Heating and Cooling, to Brad Grover from Carol's Truck Rental, to Rick Constantino from Rochester Regional Health, who's been a long-term partner with us on this, Steve Maricos from Allstate. Steve, thanks for being here today. And to Major Thomas Eddy from the Monroe County Sheriff's Department. Thank you for representing law enforcement here today. Sheriff's Department's been a partner with us on this from the beginning. I want to also say a special thanks to our sponsors on this initiative, without whom we would not have a project, frankly. Allstate Insurance, Isaac Heating and Air Conditioning, Empire State Safety Instructors, the Rochester Area Auto Dealers Association, and Rochester Regional Health. Those organizations are all financial sponsors of this work, and as I said, we would not have a project without their support. Distracted driving results in an accident every 24 seconds on roadways in this country. In 2012, we wanted to get a handle on what that meant locally, so we conducted an observational study which showed that fully 3% of every driver that went by 11 different locations that we studied across the county were visibly distracted. We know more of them were actually distracted, but we only counted those that we could really see, and that was 3%. In 2014, that rate had decreased by 20%. We were very glad to see this. Didn't take all the credit for it. The signage along the thruway and things along those lines, increasing fines and those sorts of things, law enforcement stepping up its efforts, all played a role in that effort. The third installment of the study, which was conducted just this September, actually revealed that distracted driving had not continued that decline, but actually had remained flat over the last 2 years. Now, the strategy that we've been employing in order to make a difference on this, if it affects all of us, then we all have a role to play, even when we're outside the car. So if we're going to change that social norm, we need a community-wide approach to make that kind of impact. So enter our community partners that I mentioned, local businesses and the education community. Some of the things that have been going on have been schools adding distracted driving education to their health curriculum, to their safe driving classes, businesses downloading our anti-distracted driving policy and implementing it, talking about distracted driving with their workforce. Those who have been ticketed for distracted driving have actually had the opportunity to take a course provided by our partner, Empire State Safety Instructors, with a portion of the proceeds actually funding the work that we're doing and getting this message out into the community. And today, we're going to recognize some new partners: DeCarol's Truck Rental, Isaac Heating and Cooling, and West Arundecoit Central School District. So first, I'd like to introduce my friend Ray Isaac, who's been a campaign sponsor and community partner helping us fight distracted driving. Ray?
Good morning. You can give the credit for the weather to the heating and air conditioning business. We'll take credit for the nice warm summer. Rochester, as Todd said, is leading or is above average in distracted driving, and I made a comment to Dr. Constantino on the way here. I saw probably no less than 6 people on their phones going 55 miles an hour plus down the thruway. So we have an issue throughout the community as well as in Rochester. And this is even complicated even more for employers. If one of our drivers gets injured by a distracted driver or for any reason while driving one of our vehicles, it's a double whammy for us. It's not only the accident and the potential injury to that individual, but it's also a workers' compensation claim, and a lot of people don't realize that, whether it's our fault or not. That is a impact on obviously the driver, but also the company in that case. An average claim for a crash is about $150,000, and that is just for a crash incident. The loss of life, which is much worse in a lot of different areas, but $3.6 million, so there definitely is a financial impact to these things. Obviously, the safety of our employees is number one. It is our number one core value. It's our number one rank order priority as a company. And the thing that we can do to keep our drivers safe is to educate them. But I always tell our people that the most dangerous thing they do is get to the job. Driving from our location or from their past job to the current job is the most dangerous thing they do all day. We can control the job site. We can provide them with all the personal protection equipment that they need, that they have to have for fall protection, for lockout, tagout, for arc flash and all the other things, hard hats, safety glasses, gloves, all that. But we cannot control the environment outside of that job site, and getting to the job site. So it is obviously a very, very important thing for us. We have tried to minimize any risk that we can cause with our workforce. And with over 200 trucks on the road, that can be pretty monumental on a daily basis. We'll put on over 2,000 miles every single day with our fleet. We provide all of our drivers with hands-free devices. So if they do receive a call, which we discourage it, if they do have hands-free devices, we do not send out any notices to them while they're driving. We have GPS in all of our vehicles. We can tell when a driver is actively driving the vehicle and he has not stopped. So we will not send them out a notice or their next call while they are driving. We limit all text messages and messages that are not pertaining to even their daily duty. If it's an event that we're having, we wait until after 7 p.m. to send those out when the majority of our force is at home and safe. So we're doing everything we can to keep our drivers safe, but it isn't just us, as I said, it's the community, and that's why we have stepped up and tried to support and are supporting the Causewave initiative on distracted driving. I mean, this is something I worry about every single day. With every one of those trucks on the road, I'm worrying about the hazards that they face in the weather, but with other drivers and with the accidents that occur. So we have put our support behind Causewave and behind this initiative. We've also added a logo to our vehicles. If you can see it behind me, we've added the sticker to every one of our vehicles at the bottom. It says, "Texting a driver, not cool." So it had a nice play into the heating and air conditioning. That wasn't the reason we did it, but I definitely wanted to put those on. And what it does, it draws awareness to our people. When they go up to the back of the vehicle, which is the door they enter on a most frequent basis, they're seeing that every single time they go to the back of that vehicle. So we are here to set the example, to make a statement, and to support a very worthy cause. And I would encourage every other business that has even one vehicle on the road to support Causewave in their initiative to eliminate distracted driving. So Todd, thank you for the opportunity to speak.
Thanks very much, Ray. Thanks for your leadership and your commitment to this effort. Next, I want to introduce our host here today, my friend Jeff Crane, who's the superintendent of the Irondequoit School District.
Well, good morning, everyone. Beautiful day here at Irondequoit High School. Welcome to everyone. And let me just say that we've been working with Todd and his folks at Causewave Community Partners for a long time now. We've been one of the early supporters of Yeah, You're That Distracting activity and that initiative. I'm so pleased that we can be a part of this phase of this safety initiative. We have been able to purchase 2 distracted driving simulators with the help of the West Irondequoit Foundation and with the help of Assembly Majority Leader Joe Morelli, which we have used, as Todd mentioned earlier, in many of our classes and in our community education program. Doug Lauf, our principal here at Irondequoit High School, has made it a requirement for our kids who finally reach that senior year status and are looking for those coveted parking spots that they will go through the Next Step Academy online course for students to get their parking passes. And now, because we have to realize that, as Ray said, controls the workspace, we control the school district. The most important part of a comprehensive, rigorous education is that every single student feels safe and is involved in a positive environment. And then school ends and you worry about every one of your kids for the next 12 hours until we see them again. And just being able to put these signs on our vehicles and drive text free and have signs at posts as not only our kids, but all of our parents, all of our visitors need to be constantly reminded. We all need to be reminded that we must pay attention to the road, and we always can call back and text later. It's not something we have to do when we should be thinking only about our driving. Distracted driving is an issue that affects our students and everyone else. And so whatever we can do, West Irondequoit is pleased to be a part of that. We are really excited when Todd talked about this next phase. And it's easy for us to join this effort because we have support of many people. I'd like to just mention a few. I'd like to thank the New York Schools Insurance Reciprocal, Clark Patterson Lee, Emma, Duval, and Southern Group, GP Carpet, GUP Signs, and the Flower City Communications. Because of these folks, we've been able to install 30 parking lot signs that say drive text-free on all of our campuses and place vehicle magnets on all of our district vehicles. So much for all of our partners. Nothing, I think, is more important than the safety of our kids and all of the folks who work with our kids. So please know that we are very excited to be a part of this, Todd. Thanks for including us, and we invite other local schools and communities to join in this wonderful effort. So thanks again, everyone, for being here, and Todd, thank you.
Thanks very much, Jeff. Our third new partner, DeCarolus Truck Rental, and need to really say a special thank you to the folks at DeCarolus Truck Rental. I know Brad's here from DeCarolus. Thank you very much for your work as Director of Safety in that organization and your work at DeCarolus. And I know you'll share our thanks with Paul and John DeCarolus back at the shop, who we met with and who said yes right away as soon as we brought this idea up. The production that you folks actually went ahead and funded yourselves of these stickers and got them on the back of all the vehicles is going to make a real difference, as it's seen by certainly thousands of consumers every single day when they're on the roadways. The stickers on those vehicles say "Focus on the road, not the phone," which is a good reminder for all of us who are behind the wheel that focusing on the road is the most important and life-saving thing that we can do. Now, we're making progress. I think that's hard to argue, but we can't do it alone. It'll take everyone in the community to really make an impact on distracted driving. So I think we need to ask ourselves, what other local organizations have fleets that could help us in this effort? What other campuses, whether they're schools or shopping centers or businesses, what other campuses have signs that we could piggyback onto and install these anti-distracted driving signage to show a commitment to the visitors to those campuses? So here's my call to action. Before there's another distracted driving accident, before another person loses their life or sustains an injury that puts them in a nursing home for the rest of their life, I'm asking all of these organizations and all of us to go to the website, youarethatdistracting.org, check out our toolkits for schools and for businesses, purchase stickers or signs to use with your organization, or just reach out to us to find out other ways that you can get involved. And again, I want to say thank you to West Irondequoit for hosting us here today. I want to say a special thank you to Isaac, to DeCarolus, and West Irondequoit for their partnership on this issue that we announced today. All the donors, supporters, volunteers who stood on those street corners counting cars to help us be able to understand the extent of this issue, and everyone in the community who is working every day to make our roadways safe. Again, appreciate all of you being here today, and this concludes the press conference. Happy to answer any questions that anyone may have, and I know that our partners who are here today are available for interviews as well.